ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Good morning to all. Today I will explain to you another important periodic property. Another important periodic property, that is nothing but ionization potential. In this topic, we have to learn about ionization potential, and higher IP values are always greater than that of lower IP values. Example, IP2 is greater than IP1. And what are the factors that are affecting the ionization potential? And what about the periodicity? What about the periodicity of the ionization potential in long form periodic table? That is, or that we have to learn in this particular class. What is the ionization potential? You have already learned in the previous classes. This is very easy and also the most common concept discussed in the previous classes. What is ionization potential? Ionization potential may be defined as the amount of energy required to remove the most loosely held outermost electron from the nuclear attraction of neutral gaseous atom in its ground state. I am repeating once again. Ionization potential may be defined as the minimum amount of energy required to remove the most loosely held outermost electron from the nuclear attraction of a neutral gaseous atom in its ground state. Here the conditions are very important. Case 1, the atom should be neutral without any charge. Second one, that should be in the gaseous state. That should be in the gaseous state. Then we are removing the outermost electron, means electron present in the valence shell, by using a minimum amount of energy. Then only that is represented as ionization potential. The minimum amount of energy required to remove the loosely held outermost electron from the nuclear attraction of a neutral gaseous atom in its ground state is known as ionization potential. And mathematically it can be represented as, let us consider a metal atom M that is in the gaseous state plus energy E1 gives rise M plus gaseous plus electron. This is the expression. Here M gaseous atom, neutral gaseous atom in its ground state. E1 is nothing but ionization potential. M plus gaseous cation, unipositive cation. This is electron which is removed from the outermost orbit. Which is removed from the outermost orbit. Here E1 is equal to ionization potential. It is also represented as IP1. IP1. Okay. And here from the same thing we can define another important term also. Second ionization potential. The amount of energy required to remove an electron from a unipositive cation is known as second ionization potential. Here this is the unipositive cation M plus gaseous ion. Here I am using some amount of energy E2. Then it gives M2 plus gaseous ion plus electron. And here this is unipositive cation and this is dipositive cation and this is electron and this is energy required to remove the electron from the unipositive cation. The amount of energy required to remove an electron from the unipositive cation is known as second ionization potential. Second ionization potential. Second ionization potential. That is also simply represented as IP2. M plus unipositive cation. E2 means IP2. M2 plus dipositive cation. This is electron. And next one. What about the units that are used to calculate or used to express ionization potential? Here electron volt per atom. Second one kilojoule per mole. And third one kilocalories per mole. And there is a technical issue. If the energy required to remove an electron from a neutral atom or whatever it may be, ion, cation, is concerned with only a single individual, then that is represented as electron volt per atom. The energy required to remove an electron from the individual atom, single atom, is represented as ionization potential. Individual atom, single atom. Then that energy is represented as potentials, electron volt per atom unit. And if that is concerned with 1 mole, means the energy required to remove electrons from the 1 mole of atoms, neutral atoms, then that is expressed in terms of kilocalories or kilojoules, then that is represented as ionization energy. This is the difference between ionization potential and energy. Ionization energy is concerned with the amount of energy required to remove the electron from the 1 mole of atoms. But the potential means this is the amount of energy required to remove an electron from a neutral individual gaseous atom in its ground state. Ionization potential, ionization energy. Okay. What about the conversion? Here 1 electron volt is equal to 23.06 kilocalories per mole. That is equal to 96.45 kilojoule per mole. But how can you calculate or how can you measure the ionization potential? Here generally we are using discharge tube experiment. Discharge tube experiment. And the second one, Born-Haber cycle. Discharge tube experiment. And the second one, Born-Haber cycle. And the third one, spectroscopic studies also. Spectroscopic studies also used to calculate the ionization potentials of the elements. And here this is about the first ionization potential, this is the second ionization potential. This is about the units and this is about the measurement or calculation of the ionization potentials. Right. But what about the other important features of ionization potential? Here ionization potential is dependent of effective nuclear charge mostly. And the second one, it is an endothermic process. It is an endothermic process. And delta H is equal to positive. Delta H is equal to positive, always endothermic. And ionization potential is dependent of effective nuclear charge. Actually, we can discuss that in the factors affecting the ionization potential also. This is an endothermic process. Delta H is equal to positive and this can be measured by using the discharge tube experiment, Born-Haber cycle and spectroscopic studies. This is about the units of ionization potential, electron volt per atom and kilojoule per mole, kilocalories per mole, and this is about the conversion. And first ionization potential and second ionization potential. Right. Here, now I will give another important statement. That is, higher ionization potentials are always greater than that of lower ionization potentials. Or, example, IP2 is greater than that of IP1. IP2 is always greater than that of IP1. Why? What is the reason for that? Why? Higher IP values are always greater than that of lower IP values. What is the reason for that? IP2 is always greater than that of IP1. What is the reason for that? Very simple. The amount of energy required to remove an electron from the outermost orbit of a neutral gaseous atom in its ground state is known as first ionization potential. The amount of energy required to remove one more electron from the unipositive cation is known as second ionization potential. That is the definitions related to IP1 and IP2. Okay. Here, let us consider an atom. This is IP1. Then unipositive cation. By losing electron, it forms a unipositive cation. And here, number of electrons, take for example sodium. I will give the example also. Na plus one more electron. Here, number of electrons equal to 11, number of protons equal to 11. And this is IP1. By losing electron, it forms Na plus ion, number of electrons 11, number of electrons 10, but the number of protons remains same 11. And here, when an atom losing electron, resulting the formation of cation. And here, in this cation, the number of protons is greater than that of electrons. Means, the nuclear charge is greater than that of negative charge of electrons. As a result of that, the nucleus tightly attracting the electron towards itself. It causes to the contraction of ion. Means the size decreases. As the size decreases, the nucleus tightly attracting electrons towards itself. Then more energy is required to remove the electron from the unipositive cation. And here M plus IP2 greater than M2 plus electron. Here the electron is removed from the neutral atom. Both the negative charge and the positive charge of the nucleus remains same. Then it is easy to remove an electron compared to the amount of energy required to remove one more electron from the unipositive cation. Why? In this cation, the number of electrons is less than that of number of protons. Nuclear charge is greater than that of electron charge. Here the nucleus tightly attracting the electron towards itself. That causes to the decrease of ionic radius. As a result of that, the size of cation is smaller than that of its parent atom. Means the nucleus or the electrons are strongly held by the nucleus. Then more energy is required to remove one more electron from the unipositive cation. This is about the reason for the higher IP values are always greater than that of lower IP values. Means what? Take for example, let us consider carbon. Carbon atomic number is equal to 6. Electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Total 6 electrons are there. How many IP values are there for the carbon? 6. Why? Here number of IP values equal to atomic number. How many IP values are there for carbon? 6 IP values are there. What about the order of the decreasing order of the IP values of carbon? Here IP1 is less than, IP2 is less than, IP3 is less than, IP4 is less than, IP5 is less than, IP6. Take for another example, helium or lithium. Atomic number 3, 1s2, 2s1. What about the atomic number 3? Therefore, how many IP values are there for lithium? 3 IP values. IP3 greater than, IP2 greater than, IP1. Here the number of IP values for the given element is equal to its atomic number. And same time the order of the IP values is given like that. Higher IP values are always greater than that of lower IP values. This is the example 1, this is example 2. And this is about the IP2 is greater than IP1. Now, what about the factors that are affecting the ionization potential? What about the factors? The factors that are affecting the ionization potential are atomic radius, first one. Second one, nuclear charge. And the third one, screening effect. Screening effect. And the fourth one, penetrating power and the electronic configuration. Penetrating power and electronic configuration. Nuclear charge, screening effect, penetrating power, electronic configuration. Electronic configuration. The factors that are affecting ionization potential are atomic radius, nuclear charge, screening effect, and next one penetrating power and electronic configuration. How the 5 factors that are influencing the ionization potential? What about the relation? Here, atomic radius is inversely related to ionization potential. Next, nuclear charge directly proportional to ionization potential. Third one, ionization potential is inversely related to the screening effect. And ionization potential directly proportional to the penetrating power. And electronic configuration, stable electronic configuration, or the elements with stable electronic configuration are having higher IP values, and the electrons with the elements with unstable configuration are having lower IP values. Lower IP values. Okay. In this particular case, we can easily, simply give an example. What is that? In long form periodic table, the elements with a stable electronic configuration are noble gases. So, the elements with the highest IP values in their respective periods are noble gases. Therefore, contrast, the elements with the lowest IP values in their respective periods in periodic table are alkali metals. Alkali metals with low IP values in their respective periods of periodic table, and zero group elements or inert gases or noble gases are the elements with the highest IP values in their respective periods in the periodic table. And the element with the highest IP value in the periodic table, helium. The element with the lowest IP value in the periodic table, available elements, cesium. Here helium is noble gas and cesium is alkali metal. That is the importance or role of the stable electronic configuration. The elements with a stable electronic configuration are having higher IP values and the elements with unstable electronic configuration are having low IP values or lower IP values in the periodic table. This is about the relations. Atomic radius is inversely related to ionization potential. Nuclear charge is directly related to ionization potential. Screening effect is inversely related to ionization potential. Penetrating power directly proportional to ionization potential. And this is about the effect or influence of the electronic configuration on the IP values. Right. Now we have to go through the details. First one, atomic radius. As atomic radius increases, the distance between the nucleus and the outermost orbit increases and the nuclear attraction decreases, then it is very easy to remove the electron from the neutral atom. Therefore, ionization potential is low or small amount of energy is enough to remove the electron. Means what? With increase of the atomic radius, distance between the nucleus and the outermost orbit increases, nuclear attraction decreases, then small amount of energy is sufficient to remove the electron. Means what? IP value is low. Greater the atomic radius, lower the IP value. Lower the IP value. Here examples. Lithium 5.89 electron volt per atom. Sodium 5.13 electron volts. Potassium 4.89 electron volts. Rubidium 4.13 electron volts or 4.33 electron volts. Cesium 3.85 electron volts. This is about the IP values. What about the atomic number of lithium? 7, sodium 11, potassium 19, rubidium 37, cesium 55. What is the number of outermost orbit in lithium? 3, means 3s, 1s2, 1s2, 2s1. And next one, this is neon 3s1, argon 4s1, krypton 5s1, xenon 6s1. What about the outermost orbit? 2. What about the outermost orbit? 3, 4, 5 and 6. With increase of atomic number, and the number of outermost orbit increases, therefore atomic radius increases, and as the atomic radius increases, the nuclear attraction, the outermost electron decreases, then automatically small amount of energy is enough to remove the electron. So, the IP value gradually decreases from lithium to cesium. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. And here this is the relation between the atomic radius and also ionization potential. Second one, nuclear charge. Second one, nuclear charge. How can you explain the influence of the nuclear charge on the ionization potential? With increase of the nuclear charge, the effective nuclear charge increases. Means what? The nuclear attraction for each electron increases. Then large amount of energy is required to remove the electron. And here that can be clearly observed in the periods in a good manner. In a period, as we move from left to right, with increase of atomic number, the nuclear charge increases. Why? The number of protons inside the nucleus increases. Therefore, nuclear charge increases. But the differentiating electron goes into the same orbit. Means what? There is no difference in the distance between the nucleus and the outermost orbit. As a result of that, with increase of nuclear charge, the electrons are tightly held by the nucleus. Therefore, large amount of energy is required to remove electrons. Means what? Nuclear charge, with increase of nuclear charge, ionization potential gradually increases. Ionization potential gradually increases. Here the third one is the screening effect. Third one is screening effect. What is screening effect or shielding effect, which is represented by the Slater constant sigma? Already I have discussed in the previous class. Screening effect. How can you define or how do you understand the word screening effect or shielding effect here? The electrons which are present in the inner orbits or behaves like the screens or obstructing or disturbing the nuclear attraction on the outermost electron. That phenomenon is known as screening effect. Take for example, let us consider magnesium 12. And here magnesium electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. And what about the second orbit and third orbit? Here 1s2, here 2s2, 2p6, here 3s2. And here this is the nucleus. The nucleus attracting the outermost electron towards itself. Then how many electrons are disturbing this nuclear attraction? 6 plus 2, 8, 8 plus 2, 10. Totally 10 electrons are disturbing the nuclear attraction. Nuclear attraction on valence electron. That phenomena or that disturbing property or that disturbing phenomenon is known as screening effect. And here, with increase of the screening effect, the effective nuclear charge decreases. With the decrease of effective nuclear charge, IP value gradually decreases. And in the same way, as the screening effect decreases, suppose there is no screening effect, then effective nuclear charge is more, then automatically IP value increases. Means what? Here screening effect is inversely related to ionization potential. Ionization potential. The electrons which are present in the inner orbits or act as screens to the nuclear attraction, means screens to the nuclear attraction on the outermost electron. They are disturbing the nuclear attraction on the outermost electron. They are obstructing the nuclear attraction. That phenomenon is known as screening effect, and that can be represented by using a constant that is known as Slater constant, which is represented by the symbol sigma. And calculation of the Slater constant is already discussed in the previous class. This is about the screening effect. And then penetrating power. Penetrating power. What about the penetrating power? What about the penetrating power? Based on the shape of the orbitals in the subshell, they come closer to the nucleus. They are penetrating towards the nucleus. That phenomena is known as penetrating power. And here, what about the order of the penetrating power? And what about the order of the penetrating power and also screening effect? Here, the order of the screening effect of the electrons present in different orbits is S greater than P greater than, and the order of penetrating power is also same, S, P, D and also F. What is the sense of that? S orbitals penetrating more towards the nucleus than P. P orbitals penetrating more towards the nucleus than D. D orbitals penetrating more towards the nucleus than F. This is the decreasing order of the penetrating power of the orbitals of different subshells, and that can be clearly explained in the Sommerfeld model of atom. Sommerfeld model of atom. Greater the penetrating power, greater will be the nuclear attraction. Greater is the nuclear attraction, then large amount of energy is required to remove the electron. Therefore, IP values are also greater. So, penetrating power directly proportional to ionization potential. I will give the here n is equal to 4, then k can have 4 values according to Sommerfeld. Here the values are given as 1, 2, 3, 4 after modification. Before the modification they are given as 0, 1, 2, 3. After modification, before modification they are given as 1, 2, 3 and 4. Here n is equal to 4, then k is also 4, azimuthal quantum number. Second one, n is equal to 4, k is equal to 3, n is equal to 4, k is equal to 2, n is equal to 4, k is equal to 1. This is before modification. Later on, azimuthal quantum number is represented by the letter L, and they can have values from 0 to n minus 1. But in olden days, azimuthal quantum number is represented by the letter K, and it can have values same as that of n, principal quantum number. Here n is equal to 4, then K has 4 values. What are they? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Later on it was modified as azimuthal quantum number and represented by the letter L, 0 to n minus 1. Right, here we have no need to think about this. Azimuthal quantum number has 4 values. What are they? 1, 2, 3 and 4. Here n is equal to 4, then k has 4 value. As the k value decreases, the ellipticity of the orbit gradually decreases. With the decrease of the k value, the ellipticity of the orbit gradually increases. And same time here that come very closer to the nucleus n. Here later on it is represented by the L value 0, this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. Suppose L is equal to 0, S subshell, 1, P subshell, 2, D subshell, 3, F subshell. That means the S electrons come closer towards the nucleus than P, and the P subshell come closer to the nucleus, and D and F. When compared with the F, D, P orbitals, the S subshell come closer with the nucleus. Therefore, the S electrons experience more nuclear attraction than P, that experience more nuclear attraction D, and d electrons experience more nuclear attraction than F. Why? This is the order of the penetrating power which is taken from the concept of the azimuthal quantum numbers, nothing but Sommerfeld model of atom. And this is about the screening effect, this is about the penetrating power. Greater the penetrating power, greater will be the IP value. And here more energy is required, IP required than IP, and this is the decreasing order of IP values also. And finally, electronic configuration. Already I have given the information related to the influence of electronic configuration on the ionization potentials. Look at the statement. The elements which are having stable electronic configuration means 8 electronic configuration or octet configuration are having higher IP values. In long form periodic table, the element with the highest IP value is helium. And the elements with high IP values in the respective periods are zero group elements. In the respective periods, zero group elements. And the elements which are having unstable configuration means incompletely filled orbitals. Incompletely filled orbitals are unstable and they have low IP values. Example, low IP values. Example, alkali metals, first A group elements. First A group elements. The element with the lowest IP value at present or in the available elements is cesium. And the elements with low IP values are alkali metals are first A group elements. First A group elements. This is about the factors that are affecting the ionization potential. What is the relation between the ionization potential and atomic radius? Inverse relation. What is the relation between the nuclear charge and ionization potential? Direct relation. What is the relation between the screening effect and ionization potential? Inverse relation. What is the relation between the penetrating power and ionization potential? Direct relation. This is about the influence of the electronic configuration on the ionization potentials of elements. What about the order of the screening effect? S greater than, P greater than, D greater than F. This is the order of the screening effect. What about the decreasing order of the penetrating power? S greater than, P greater than, D greater than F. S electrons experience more nuclear attraction. Therefore, more energy is required to remove the electron from the S subshells compared to P, D and also F. This is the factors affecting the ionization potentials. Periodicity. Periodicity means, or periodicity of ionization potential means, how does ionization potential varies in a period or across a period, and how does it varies along with a group? That we have to discuss with some examples also. In a period, as we move from left to right, with the decrease of atomic radius, ionization potential increases. This is general definition. I am repeating once again. In a period, as we move from left to right, with increase of atomic number, atomic radius decreases and ionization potential increases, or simply with the decrease of atomic radius, ionization potential increases. But when you are comparing or observing the values of ionization potential across the period, we can observe a deviation at second A group elements and fifth A group elements. Take for example, let us consider second period. Lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. Okay. And here the ionization potential of lithium is 5.89 electron volts. In case of neon, that is near about 15.9 electron volts. Means what? Gradually increases. That statement can be given when you are comparing only lithium and neon. Gradually increases. Okay. When you are comparing the ionization potentials keenly, then we can observe some deviations at second A group elements and fifth A group elements. Fifth A group elements. What about the order? This is the order of the ionization potential across the period. Okay, this is the first ionization potential of second period elements. What about the third period elements? That can be given as sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon. Chlorine and argon. And here the deviation is observed at second A group elements and also fifth A group elements. Fifth A group elements, right? What is the reason for that? What is the reason for that? And same time, from this we can make a statement. What is that? IP1 of second A group elements. IP1 of second A group elements always greater than IP1 of adjacent groups. What are adjacent groups? First A and third A. First A and third A. Okay, na? Adjacent groups. In the same way, IP1 of fifth A group elements always greater than that of IP1 of adjacent groups. What are the adjacent groups? Sixth A and fourth A. Fourth A and sixth A. What is the reason for that? Here the reason is stable electronic configuration. How? Here the electronic configuration of second A group elements is NS2, general electronic configuration. Means what? Here the S subshell S subshell is completely filled. According to Hund's, the elements in which completely filled orbitals are available are stable. The elements in which completely filled orbitals available are stable according to Hund's rule. And here in second A group elements, the outermost S orbital is completely filled. So that is a stable electronic configuration. And here such elements are having higher IP values. And in the same way, in case of fifth A group elements, the general electronic configuration is NS2 NP3. Here the outermost p orbital is half filled. According to Hund's rule, the elements with half filled or completely filled orbitals are stable. The elements with incompletely filled orbitals are unstable. Here in case of lithium and also boron, the outermost S and p orbitals are incompletely filled, so they are unstable. They have low IP values. In the same way, in case of oxygen and also carbon, the outermost s or p orbitals, means outermost p orbitals are incompletely filled. So they are unstable, they have low IP values. But in case of second A group elements and also fifth A group elements, due to availability of completely filled s orbital and also half filled p orbitals, they are having higher IP values compared to their adjacent groups. Compared to adjacent groups. That is the example. And statements related to the same statement frequently there are two questions asked. First one, IP1 of beryllium is greater than IP1 of boron. Why? What is the reason for that? Very simple. Beryllium atomic number 4, electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2. 1s2, 2s2. Here, the outermost s orbital is completely filled. Therefore, the beryllium atom is stable. Then more energy is required to remove the electron from the stable configuration of beryllium. So, it has a high IP value. This is the first reason. What about the second one? In beryllium, the differentiating electron goes into the s subshell. Here the s orbitals are penetrating more towards the nucleus. As a result of that, they undergo or they are under the influence of more nuclear attraction. Means s electrons are strongly attracted by the nucleus. Means they are under the influence of the nucleus strongly. As a result of that, more energy is required to remove the electron and has a high IP value. So, beryllium has greater IP value than boron. Okay, this is one type of explanation. In another case, from boron point of view, boron atomic number 5, electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. According to Hund's rule, the elements with incompletely filled orbitals are unstable. Here, in boron, the outermost p orbital is incompletely filled. So, boron is unstable. Then, small amount of energy is removed from the valence shell of boron. So, it has low IP value. Second one, in boron, the differentiating electron goes into the p subshell. Compared to the s orbitals, p orbitals are having less penetrating power. They experience less nuclear attraction. Therefore, small amount of energy or less amount of energy is enough to remove the electron from the outermost p orbital compared to outermost s orbital. As a result of that, here boron has low IP value. This is two types of explanations. This is beryllium point of view, this is boron point of view. Same thing can be observed in second example also. What is the statement? IP1 of nitrogen is always greater than that of IP1 of oxygen. Why? From nitrogen point of view, nitrogen atomic number 7, electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. If you are observing the electronic configuration, the outermost p orbital is half filled. According to Hund's rule, half filled or completely filled orbitals are stable and more energy is required to remove an electron from the stable atoms. Therefore, more energy is required to remove electron from the half-filled p orbital. Then nitrogen has high IP value. And next one, in case of oxygen, atomic number 8, electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. In oxygen, the outermost p orbital is incompletely filled. As a result of that, compared to nitrogen, oxygen is unstable. So, small amount of energy is enough to remove an electron from the oxygen atom compared to nitrogen. So, it has a lower IP value than nitrogen. Here incompletely filled p orbital is available. Here half filled p orbital is available. According to Hund's rule, half filled or completely filled orbitals are relatively more stable than incompletely filled orbitals. Means what? The elements with half filled or completely filled orbitals are stable and more energy is required to remove an electron from such atoms. So, they have high IP values. And same time, the elements with incompletely filled orbitals are unstable and small amount of energy is enough to remove the electron from such type of atoms, then they have low IP values. This is the explanation related to the two examples. IP1 of beryllium is greater than that of IP1 of boron. IP1 of nitrogen is greater than that of IP1 of oxygen. Next, this is about the first ionization potential, IP1. What about the order of the second ionization potential? If you are observing the second ionization potentials, objective point of view, that is important, very, very important. Second period elements, IP2. Lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, next nitrogen, and then oxygen and fluorine and neon. Fluorine and neon. Beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen and nitrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and fluorine. And the third period elements, second ionization potential, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, oxygen, sulfur, chlorine and argon. This is about the order of second ionization potential. This is about the order of first ionization potentials. Order of first ionization potentials. And here, how can you remember how the concepts are keep in mind? That can be or that should be practiced in the study hours only. That should be practiced in the study hours only. This is the explanation given. That is about the periods. Next, what about the periodicity of ionization potential in the groups? In a group, as we move from top to bottom, with increase of atomic number, atomic radius increases. With increase of atomic radius, ionization potential decreases. Here, example, lithium 5.89 electron volts, sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. Cesium 3.85 electron volts. And next one, this is 5.13 electron volts, 5.33 electron volts, and this is 5.13 electron volts, and this is 4.8 electron volts, this is 3.85 electron volts. As we move from top to bottom, with increase of atomic number, atomic radius increases, therefore effective nuclear charge decreases and ionization potential decreases. Lithium has a higher IP value than cesium. The order is lithium greater than sodium greater than potassium greater than rubidium greater than cesium. 5.89 to 3.85, 5.33, 5.13, 4.8 and 3.85. This is about the variation of the ionization potential in groups and also periods. Particularly in this, you have to keep the ionization potential orders properly. That means order of first ionization potential, order of second ionization potentials are very, very important. You should keep in mind. Now, applications of ionization potential. Applications of ionization potentials. Point number 1. Based on the IP values of given element, or by comparing the IP values of given element, we can evaluate or we can identify the valency of given element, and same time from that we can write the molecular formula of the compounds also. Molecular formula of the compounds also. Take for example, sodium 11, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. The energy required to remove the outermost electron is IP1. After losing outermost s electron, here the sodium ion acquiring the electronic configuration of nearest noble gas, that is neon. Then Na plus ion is exceptionally stable. As a result of that, here the second IP value is suddenly increases. Means in case of alkali metals first A group elements, there is a sudden jump observed at a second IP. In the same way, in case of second A group element, there is a sudden jump at a third IP. Why? Magnesium atomic number 12, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. From this outermost s orbital, the first electron is removed by using IP1, second electron is removed by using IP2. After losing the two outermost s electrons, here Mg2 plus ion acquiring the electronic configuration of nearer inert gas element neon. Then it is exceptionally stable and has a high IP value. That means suppose if you are ready to remove one more electron from this, that is nothing but IP3. Here IP3 means there is a sudden jump at IP2. That means third IP is suddenly increased. Second IP, sudden jump at the second IP, sudden jump at the third IP. Based on this, we can calculate the valency also. Example, for a given metal atom M, the order of IP values given as IP1 greater than IP2, IP3 greater than IP4 and so on. Here there is a sudden jump at the third IP, means here beyond second IP the ionization potential is suddenly increases. Therefore, valency of metal atom M is equal to 2. Okay, this is example 1. In another example, order of IP value is IP1, IP2, IP3, IP4 and so on. What happened in this case? In this order, the IP value suddenly increases at second IP, second ionized potential. Means what? Here, only one IP before that. So, valency of atom M is equal to 1. Example 3. IP1 greater than IP2 greater than IP3. Sudden jump at IP4. Then what about the valency? 3. And here this atom can be represented as M2 plus. Here this can be represented as M plus, and this can be represented as M3 plus. M3 plus. Here the valency of the first example 2, valency of the second example 1, and the valency of the third example is 3. How can you identify? Based on the given IP values, based on the order of the IP values of given element, we can calculate or we can identify the valency also. Based on the valency, we can write the molecular formulae. That is the important advantage of ionization potential. Another example. The IP values of atom of an element is given as IP1 greater than IP2 greater than IP3 greater than IP4 and so on. Same question is also given in another way. The order of IP values are given. Atom is 100 and 158 and 856 and 963 and 1075 electron volt per atom. In the form of values given, then you have to observe 100 to 158, difference only 58. 158 to near about 850, there is a large gap. Means what? Here there is a sudden jump at a third IP. That means you have to separate like this. Here, valency of metal atom is equal to 2. And representation of molecular formula that can be represented as M2 plus. Here, what about the molecular formula of chlorides? Molecular formula of sulfates. Molecular formula of nitrates. Molecular formula of phosphates. These are all the salts. Chlorides, sulfates, nitrates and phosphates, and then we can write sulfides also, sulfides, etc. To solve this problem, you have to familiar with the formulae of anions also. Chloride ion, formula Cl minus. Sulfate ion, formula SO4 2 minus. Nitrate ion, formula NO3 minus. Sulfide, formula S2 minus. Phosphates, PO4 3 minus. We can write some other examples also. Nitrites, NO2 minus. Sulfides, SO3 2 minus. You should familiar with the formula of the anions also. Now you can write the metal chloride. What about the metal chloride? For that, M2 plus Cl minus, crisscross. MCl2. That is the molecular formula of chloride of this one. Okay. What about the sulfate? Here sulfate, M2 plus SO4 2 minus crisscross. M2 SO4 taken twice, cancel. MSO4. I think you are familiar with the crisscross method which is given in the earlier classes. Next, nitrates. M2 plus plus NO3 minus. This is minus 1, this is plus 2. NO3, M1, NO3 taken twice means MnO3 taken twice. Next, sulfides. M2 plus and S2 plus, crisscross, MS. Next, M2 plus PO4 3 minus, PO4 3 minus, crisscross. M3 PO4 taken twice. That is about the representation of the molecular formula. Calculating, that means representation of the molecular formula by calculating the valency of the metal atoms from the IP values. This is about the order of IP value, and this is the determination of valency. And finally, based on the valency, we can write the molecular formula of chlorides, sulfates, nitrates, sulfides, phosphates, nitrates of given metal. Here M2 plus means this may be Ca2 plus, this may be Mg2 plus, this may be Sr2 plus, this may be Ba2 plus. Okay, barium chloride, barium sulfate, barium phosphate, barium nitrate, barium sulfide. These are all the examples to the first point. What is that? By using ionization potentials, we can calculate the valency of metal atoms or given element, and same time we can write the molecular formulae. And the second one is by comparing or by evaluating the ionization potentials of the elements, we can understand their reactivity also. How can you give the statement for this reactivity? Look at here. The elements with high IP values are nothing but reactive non-metals, and the elements with low IP values are metals. And the elements with high IP value or low IP values means with high IP values are reactive non-metals, with low IP values are reactive metals. And here we can compare the reactivity of the both metals and also non-metals based on their IP values. And next one, by comparing the IP values, we can evaluate their relative stability also. And next one, the elements with highest IP values are stable, and the elements with low IP values are unstable and also reactive. This is about the applications of ionization potentials. Applications of ionization potential, understanding of their reactivity and also the stability of the elements, and same time this is about the representation of the molecular formula of the compounds by calculating the valency of the elements based on the comparison of the ionization potentials. This is about the concept of ionization potential, and this is about the applications and periodicity, etc.